Wall Street analysts making big calls on 4 stocks today. Deere, Wells Fargo, Biogen, and Roku, all downgraded to sell. We've made all of them our call of the day. Just to kick all these around, let's go Deere first. You say, Jim, not surprising. Price target cut to 150 from 175, and that's at Bank of America.
Yeah, I mean, it was a horrible pre-announcement that they gave last week, Scott. I mean, it was really horrible, and it's all on the ag market, right? So there's concerns that maybe there's going to be overplanting next year. Crop prices go down, not enough profits for farmers to buy more tractors. Obviously, the trade war, agriculture is right in the crosshairs here, and that's why they lowered their numbers. It's just a tough place to step in and say, I really want to buy Deere here. I'm not doing it. They do point out Cat, by the way, as a potential name that they would put money into.
If we got phase 1, would you buy Deere?
No, but I would buy more Cat.
That's how you play it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's kick around Wells, because, Jenny, you own Wells Fargo, was downgraded to underperform today at Ray J.
Right. So we've owned this for a really long time. We've owned it since 2013. It's lagged the whole time. We're not selling it right now, but it's definitely a source of cash, because you need to look at a stock like this, and even though it's trading at 13 times earnings and has a 3.8% dividend yield, it's kind of taken up room in the portfolio. So when we find something that's really compelling that we think has more upside, this will probably be the source of cash to fund that.
Joe, you own it as well?
I do. And in January, it's going to be a show-me moment for new CEO Charlie Scharf. He's got to put forth a profit improvement plan. If he does that, I'll stay committed to the stock. If he does it, I might pare back my holding a little bit.
You could kitchen sink the whole thing, too, just given, what they've done in the past and how optimistic people are about his role, right?
I'd buy.
He's going to get kind of a pass on that.
Yeah. If they kitchen sink it, which I believe every incoming CEO thinks about and probably should do, I'd buy it. You love to buy it.
Yeah, that's my point, trying to play the contrarian side of it in anticipation of it.
But I just think even the best of Charlie Scharf might take too long to play out for us to stay in the stock.
Okay. Next one, Biogen, downgraded to underperform. That's at Baird. 250 price target. That's 14% downside. You don't own it. You've added to some other names in that space.
Right. In that space, we owned Celgene, which merged with Bristol-Myers. We were left with a reduced size position in Bristol-Myers last week and increased it. And I'm pretty excited about this holding. It's trading at about 9 times earnings. They have up to $2.5 billion of synergies. They have a fantastic cancer drug pipeline. So, we were excited to be able to increase our Bristol-Myers position last week.
Okay. And then last but not least, Jimmy, obviously this Roku downgrade over at Morgan Stanley, underperformed. Price target goes to 110 from 100. So they bumped the price target. Yeah. Why underweight? They say we're bullish on Roku's growth prospects. However, shares are up 400% year to date. Exuberance. There's just a lot of exuberance in the name.
All right. So there's 2 ways to discuss this, technically and fundamentally. And technicals win out. I'm sticking with the position. Let's get the headline out there. And frankly, the reason is because you don't know if a day like today is a reversal of momentum or a buy the dip. You look at the past year and a half, and days like today have been buy the dip moments. So until there's proof, i.e. 2 or 3 days in a row of this going down, I'm not saying the momentum is broken, and I'm sticking with it.
And you're not adding to your position either.
No, I have enough of it. I have enough of it.
Okay, but let me
but keep going.
You have enough or you've had enough?
I get you on that. For people who may have followed you in, what should they do today? Okay,
I'm staying with it, so you should stay with it. I think maybe the question that I'd want to answer
should they buy the dip? Someone says to
they don't have it.
Should I buy the? I own the stock. Yeah. It's down 15%. Should I buy more?
Yeah. I own 3%. That's where I am. Full transparency. If you're below that, I think this is a buy the dip moment. Am I being clear?
Yeah. Now you are.
What's the I thought I said buy the dip, but
he just said 3%.
More like 5%. So you know this is something I'm playing with lightly. Fundamentally, okay, the analyst is right. It's up 400%. It trades at 15 times sales. You know, if you compare this to some of the other recent IPOs that have gone way down, there's just no way these guys are ever going to have to raise capital. Now, hopefully that's not my Waterloo moment, but these guys are growing revenues at 50%. And there's no place else in the world that I can see 50% growth. I'm not in this for the fundamentals. And if the momentum is clearly turned, I'll get out. But to argue against this on a fundamental basis, there's just nobody growing like this.
You see, to me, this is...
You sold yours, why?
I did sell mine, and I just started shaving exposure. 2 weeks ago, I would have bought it today unquestionably. To think that an analyst who had a hold on it and has missed the stock since he initiated coverage on it, although good analyst, can drive a stock down 15%. I mean, that's a buying opportunity. However, I think there's symptomatic something bigger, which is that people are actually more worried than they're letting on to be worried because they're willing to sell the stock down 15%, and there's no lift to it. I may buy this in the next day or two because I think this is just abnormal for this to happen. But I think you got to look into that, into what it might mean more for the market.
And systemically, there's been this rotation from high-flying growth to quality growth,
Yeah, right.
and it's
Growth
been
at any price
pervasive.
is,
It's
we know
quality
it's
growth at a reasonable price.
happening.